This podcast was brought to you by Uncle Jeep Productions. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. This is the Drip G podcast where we talk about Nintendo stuff. Drip, man, how you doing? What's up, man?
Great. Wow, we're shortening the intro a lot.
Oh, we
Look
are.
out. Holy crap.
My first attempt at shortening the intro. Season 4.
That was very short. I feel like we could probably give it a little more information, but hey, man,
no more.
That was jarring. Whew.
Want me to try again?
No, it's fine.
Season 4 is here, everybody. Play happy sounds, Drip. Play happy sounds. Season 4 is here. We made it to our 4th season. This is the 4th year, believe it or not. Or no, 3rd year. How does math work? I don't know. We started this podcast in 2021. It is currently January 4th, 2024. Our new logo as well to celebrate season 4. I have it up there for this inaugural episode.
Oh, would you look at that?
But yeah, guys, thank you for joining us. This is a Nintendo related podcast. We're going to talk about mostly Steam Deck tonight. JK, I'm just kidding. That was in the pre-show if you watched that on the live stream. But as far as this episode, we're talking about the Switch 2. There's already stuff to talk about in January of 2024.
Of course there is.
And it's rumors, of course. So if you don't like that, sorry. But we have some other stuff as well. There's a real product out for the Switch right now. It's a cartridge that you can pop in that has Brahms on it. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, dude, this nuts.
Totally not legal and not approved by Drip G Podcast.
Yeah, but I have so many questions to ask about this thing. I don't get it. I can't wait to talk about it.
We're going to talk about that as well. And we're also going to be talking about what's to come in 2024. I almost said season 4. Like this the year of 2024 is all about us, the Drip G Podcast, the season 4, 2024. No, what's to come for Nintendo in 2024? So that's going to be interesting conversations as well. But Drip, the first night of shortening the intro, how'd I do?
Yeah. I don't know. We can work on it. It's fine. I see what you're doing. We should have a talk about that. The problem is I wanted to feel that I'm going to explain myself because it was short for a reason. I wanted to feel more like me, introducing a conversation rather than introducing a show. Okay. Yeah, I got you. And we'll work on it. But the reason that we haven't worked on it is because you and I were sick, very sick.
Yeah.
Basically, I was sick the last episode. I wasn't even here for that.
That's right.
I got better and then got sick again, New Year's.
Yep.
Which I seem to be over most of that now. The rest of it's just kind of sitting up in here.
Yeah.
Just in the, it's getting better. You just got COVID. I got COVID.
I got COVID, my first time getting COVID in my life, and especially obviously after it started happening in 2020. Managed to avoid it the whole time, but finally got it.
That's crazy that it took you this long. That's nuts.
And I had COVID for the last episode. I had COVID. I was positive from like the 22nd or 21st. I had COVID for like 2+ weeks, but I didn't feel any symptoms until the Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day, I was a mess. It was like the worst Christmas ever. I had the flu. Basically had the flu.
That was me 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Whenever I got COVID, it was on Christmas.
Yeah. And then I'm happy to say today I took my last test because it was negative finally. So I'm finally negative of COVID. As you can probably hear my voice and my sniffles every now and again. I'm still feeling it. So Drip is also still feeling it as well. But we're trying to push through for you guys.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
And we'll be fine. We will be perfectly fine.
We'll be fine.
You know what else?
Yeah, had a good Christmas. Had a good New Year's.
Yeah, happy New Year.
Good.
Yeah, happy New Year to you, Drip, and to everybody out there listening and watching. Let's get to the stuff. The tea, Drip. The tea is upon us. It's chamomile. Love chamomile. It's great tea. But also the Switch. I almost said Switch 2 cartridge. It's not Switch 2 cartridge. This is a. Okay, let me just rewind, go back in time here. I think this is about 2 weeks ago. Is when I
need you to explain this all to me.
So about 2 weeks ago, I'm watching YouTube as I do, Nintendo YouTube, and I see this device that people are showcasing. Well, it's a video of someone in particular, who knows who it is, showcasing this device. This person had it in their hands, and basically they pop in a cartridge, look like a relatively normal cartridge. They pop it in their non-modded, completely normal Nintendo Switch, and Mario Kart starts up. They open the game, they play it for a second, they close the game, they pop it out, and then pop it back in. The Switch can click in the cartridges very easily.
Yeah.
The same cartridge, takes it out, puts it back in. Now it's Crash Racing. Opens it up, plays Crash Racing, closes it, repeats the process, and like 14 more games or whatever. Every time you pop it out and pop back in, a new game pops up in your Switch. And
so that's how it works. That was one of my questions you've already answered.
Yes,
so.
And as soon as you pop it in, pop it out, add all those games to your Switch menu, you just keep it in. You just keep it in there as is. You don't have to keep popping in and popping out. Those games, as they load onto the Switch, they all get recognized as the same game. So you don't got to. There's no other cartridges.
Oh, so you can just go back to the little icon. You don't have to.
That's right.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna say.
Every time
you have like 10 games on there, and you keep popping it in and popping it out, and you miss the game, then you gotta go back around and like
every time that you
take forever.
You basically, it's a one. As far as I can understand, watching it online and everything, and learning how it works, very basically that I know. Once you add it to your Switch home screen like that, it's there. It works just like a regular cartridge. It's as if there was 10 games on one cartridge. You just have to add them. Right, it's going to keep adding them the one time, and after you do that,
so how much space does the thing have?
That I don't know. I'm sure it'll depend. And I'm sure there's only one product that I know of right now, and I'm sure there'll be more in the future. If you're listening to this in the future, I'm sure there's multiple products like this. This is just the first that we know of, and I'm sure it's as many as an SD card can hold, dude. I'm sure you can put a 1 terabyte SD card in there, and suddenly you can.
Wait, time out. Okay, you put an SD card in this thing.
No. What I'm saying is, my guess is if this product doesn't utilize it like this, there will be one in the future. Like, let's just say 5 years from now, there's going to be
in the chat. It does use an SD card.
There's going to be a product like this if it's not already existing. You can just put your own SD card in that's 1 terabyte, and now every Switch game you possibly can want is on this cartridge instead of on the SD card that you pop in your Switch.
I mean, that's awesome. I think it's cool. And, whatever. Like, it's not something I'm going to do. I'm not going to do that. I buy game. I don't want to.
You think it's cool?
Whatever. I think it's cool. I don't. Listen, here's the thing. Yeah, it's cool. It's nothing for 2 reasons I'm not going to do it. One, because I don't really want a cartridge. I want them all digital. I don't want to have to do anything with it. I just want my games digital. I don't mind paying for my games and giving Nintendo my money. They make good stuff. I'm okay with giving them my money for their good games. The second reason is there's no way in hell I will ever be able to figure out how to get the ROMs onto that thing and get them to play correctly on my Switch. Let's be real.
Not on your own, at least.
No, not on my own. No, there's no way. There's no way. I know Moran said he's going to try to buy. He said he's buying one. He's like, as long as it's not $200 or like crazy to get.
We'll get to how much it costs. I mean, we're not going to show any links or anything like that. I don't support this whatsoever. This nefarious activity. Here's the thing, Drip. I think this product can be cool if it's I had words but I lost them. If it can expand your storage, okay? If it's a cartridge that you pop in your Switch and adds SD cards expansion, that's cool. That's cool. So you can, in theory, then have a terabyte in your Switch natively, and then add this cartridge, and now there's another terabyte, right? That would be cool. This product is not that. This product is a device that has an SD card on it that you put your own ROMs on. And if you're not familiar with what ROMs are basically the coded game as a file on a computer or something that you can click and drag and play games that way. Here's the thing with the Switch is not a retro console. The Switch is the current Nintendo console. This is I'm speaking from morally here. Morally, this product is not cool with me. Like this is.
I mean, I don't know.
Because we're talking about Nintendo Switch ROMs, not games, not our downloaded games that we've already purchased on the eShop. This is like, if you want to steal games, here's a really easy way to do it, and you don't even have to hack your Switch. You just need this cartridge that you paid $65 for, which is the price that's going for right now.
It's only $65.
It's $65, and I don't know if you support. You may need to supply your own SD card. I don't know, but even if you do, that's still a really good price for basically forging all your games. This is stealing, and I'm not.
Well,
a supporter of stealing.
Technically, it's not stealing. What you do with it is up to you. These people aren't stealing anything. They are. I mean, that's like saying the people who sell guns are robbing a bank.
Does Nintendo have a patent on the cartridge? design?
That I do not know. Okay, that's where I want to go with this. That's my question about all of this.
That's where it would be.
Is how is Nintendo not already all over this?
I have no idea. My guess is they will be. You know, this product's only a pre-order. My guess.
Okay,
is
but I did see.
may never see the light
I
of
think
day.
it's on their website. They say that like Nintendo can't do anything about this. Like they're not going to be able to do anything about this. I don't see how that's true.
They're going to try. Nintendo's going to try if they haven't already started.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I want to get to it in a minute here. I want to get to why I think this product is bad. But for now, we'll keep talking about this. Nintendo's going to go after this.
I mean, dude, they sent a guy to jail. They sent a guy to jail.
But he was like, I forget what he did, but he was literally stealing and reselling. I mean, like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about what he did. It wasn't like a, Robin Hood situation. He was like just kind of taking what he wanted that didn't belong to him and repackaging it. And that's not legal. So that was kind of
okay. I guess it's Russian based. Lawless land over there.
There are no laws in Russia. Yeah, I mean, we don't need to get into the very nitty gritty of this product because we don't know much about it. Yeah.
Okay, but whatever the product is whatever it is. That I'm more interested in knowing what's Nintendo's play here. What are they going to do about this?
I don't know, but let me bring the conversation into what I want to talk about with this. Why this is bad, even if you think that. I'm no saint. I'm gonna buy this thing, put some ROMs on it because I'm no saint, and I'm not gonna overdo it. I'm a good guy, whatever. Here's the thing: even if that's true, right? Even if you're gonna be a good person about it and only use the ROMs that you own already, here's the thing:
I definitely wouldn't.
This product is bad for us because the Switch 2. If we want to have a cartridge slot in our Switch 2 where you can play our old games, you could pretty much kiss that thing goodbye. Nintendo will remove that cartridge slot faster than you can say, Mama Jama.
They will not.
Oh, yes, they will.
Not for that.
Yes, they will.
No way.
Yes,
it's
they
already
will.
in there. Trust me. I got all the rumors and leaks right here. Don't you worry. It's in there.
No,
the cartridge slot.
It's not too late to take that
for an extra $50.
They're going to take that cartridge slot right out if this product gets out there and is a success.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I highly doubt
Yes,
that.
they will. Maybe unless it's too soon or too late, I should say.
Oh, it's way too late. Guaranteed.
It may not be though, Drip. It may not be. It may not. These things are not in boxes yet.
No, you're right. But my God, they've already done the designs. Like it's.
But they'll spend the money to remove the cartridge slot if it means that they're not going to lose billions of dollars of revenue of game sales. Because there's no need to buy games anymore for the Switch or the Switch 2 for that matter.
But
if you could just steal your games, put them on this cartridge that costs $60, and who you know what I mean?
Okay, but let's be realistic here about this. I see what you're saying. How many normal Switch players are actually gonna go do that? Like I'm the one who just said like there's no way I'd do it because I don't even know how to go about putting the ROMs on there correctly to make it work. Like, how many normal people who own a Switch do you think would actually be like, oh, I'll go do, like, not many. This is going to be a real super nerd thing to do.
Listen, if you know anything about computers, which you kind of don't. No offense.
Listen, PCs, no, dude. I am like a caveman when it comes to a PC. Macs?
Yeah.
Totally different story. I know everything about those. Not PCs.
It is easier than you think to do this. The only thing and I don't get ROMs because one, it's illegal, but I just take the ROMs from my friends, which is not illegal, technically. But I only play the game.
Yes, it is.
I only play the games that I own.
You are now. Hold on.
I play the games that I own.
Hold on. Stop. Did you seriously just say that? Let's go back.
If your friend steals an apple from the store,
he stole it and gave it to me, so I'm fine. I didn't do it. It's totally legal as long as I just take it from my friend. I'm still playing the illegal ROM. But I didn't download it.
I didn't. Well, I downloaded it, but from my friend who gave it to me.
From your friend. Oh my God.
Which you've also done as well.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
It's the same thing.
Okay, it is if you're taking games that you don't own. I own all these games. Some of these games I've owned 2 to 3 times. So I've paid for them 2 to 3 times.
Yeah, I know. It's like my arcade machine back there. There's like 6,000 games on it. Obviously, I own all those.
Right.
Like actually here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well,
no.
you know my massive physical collection that it's just off camera right around the corner
it's in your garage. I've been there. It's in your garage. It's ridiculous.
It's huge. There's at least 6,000 games in there.
Look, we can all play the moral game of who's a better person than somebody else. But the fact of the matter is, even if you bought one of those $20 emulators from the freaking grocery store, if you know what I mean, like those things that next to the candy that have like 20 and 20 in one.
At the mall.
Those are also, most of those things have at least one illegal game on them. Okay, so like even if you think you've never done something like that, you may have gotten something like that for your nephew or niece or something.
Oh yeah, it's hard not to.
And that is all. Those are also
multiple games.
Yeah, and you think they're safe because they're they're at Walmart or they're on Amazon. And you think, oh, they must be safe. They're selling them. No, they're also illegal there too. We can all play the game of who's better than somebody else. But the fact of the matter is, I'm only playing the games that I own, and if I don't own it, I'm gonna buy it.
Well, here's a fun story.
Yeah.
If we're talking about morals and video games and things like this, I got a little side story on the same thing here. Hopefully our AI software cuts this out and makes it a short for us.
Maybe.
So, do you remember when I got that arcade machine? Were you around then, or did I have it before you started doing the Discord and stuff?
No. I was around when you were getting it. I was already part of the community.
So the company that makes that, I had a conversation with the guy who owns the company, and it's got the games on there, and it's like whatever. They kind of just say like this is this and whatever. So Disneyland in California, like the Disneyland, reached out to them to get a bunch of these because I guess they have these. They're like buses. They're basically party buses, okay? But they're arcade buses. And they drive around the property, but they have like a bar and you're drinking and you're playing video games. Now, Disneyland ordered a bunch of cabinets from them, these slim ones like I have. And the guy said, like, he's like, obviously, it's Disney World. Like, I'm going to say, like, hey, you guys don't want the games on there, right? And they were like, no, we want them. We definitely want them. So there's hundreds of these machines somewhere around Disneyland, riding around in buses with people getting drunk as hell on them, playing illegal ROMs, and they've paid to get on these buses.
Yeah.
Disneyland is doing that right now.
Yeah.
So, morals, hey,
yeah.
Disney, Mickey Mouse would be ashamed. Just saying.
There is cut and dry answers to what's legal, what's not legal. Those laws can sometimes change and adapt, and what is accepted is constantly changing. So it's not an easy conversation to have of like whether it's
gray area.
It's at this point, the way I think about it, it's personal. How do you feel? Do what you feel is right, and for me, what is right is to play the games that I own. And if I'm playing a ROM that I don't own, if it was given to me from a friend, I feel less bad about it because I didn't go out and seek out this ROM. It was literally just given to me, and I drive.
I love your reasoning.
To be clear, the only ROMs that I have installed, like literally, I'm not trying to be a saint. I mean, factually, what's installed on my computer right now is Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Breath of the Wild. I own all three of those games.
That's fair.
That's just also there's Barbie from the Wii U which I don't own.
Yeah.
And that was just literally a joke. Here,
I have that ROM downloaded here. I haven't got it to work anywhere successfully, but I
played it. I played it on the PC that night.
I've got like 5 other Barbie games on there though.
Yeah, I bet you do.
You jump over fences on a horse. I don't know why my kids love that.
Yeah.
You literally just press a button. I'm like, God, you guys.
I want to. Chess is in the chat. Chess for our guest from 2023. What's up, dude? Thank you for tuning in, my friend. And I'll bring it back on screen again. You were talking, Drip. Chess says I want the MIG Switch to back up my whole complete Switch collection that I already own, which is a completely legitimate use for this product, which I totally support. It's just weird to me that you can do it now, where it's still the current Switch console. Like that's where I'm like, man, it's so weird that this is like a real thing you get right now.
Is that like a possibility though? Like you could use this thing to like back up your games and then just have one cartridge that's in there?
Yes. If it supports 2 terabytes, 4 terabyte SD card.
Okay, so now I'm actually kind of interested now. Actually, now that I think about it like that, because then I can go digital or physical.
Yeah, for like $300,
but still be all digital.
Yeah. If you get like in theory a 2 to 4 terabyte SD card and throw it in that cartridge, the MIG cartridge, you can back up every single Nintendo Switch game on the freaking sun that's within reason that you own. You know, who's buying 10,000 games off the eShop, but you know, all the ones that you own, like beat 'em ups, for example, the guy who has the most eShop games I think I've ever seen, and physical cartridges. He's going to be able to put
largest Switch collection on the planet. I don't know if you knew that.
I saw that in his video. He said that, but like he'll be able to put all those games if he has a big enough SD card on that cartridge, which I think is awesome, and I think is really cool. Like 5 years from now, but to do it now is weird to me. There's no need to do it. Your cartridges,
just in time.
Your cartridges are not
just
going.
in time for the Switch too.
Your cartridges are not going to degrade in the next few weeks, months. Not even.
Yeah, but then you don't have to
years.
carry any with you.
That would be nice. That would be nice, but
because that's why I'm digital, because I don't want to carry all the stuff.
I'm not going to do it now. Maybe next year after the Switch 2 is out, I might. I'm just afraid of what if it's not too early for Nintendo, if it's not too late, I should say, for Nintendo to cut the cartridge slot out altogether, because they're like, why bother if people are going to be able to get these, you know, easily do this for cheap? Why would we put a cartridge slot in? Why would we do that to ourselves?
Well, Jeeb, let's talk about that. And let's talk about the Switch 2 a little bit, because there's a bunch of rumors. A bunch. We're very early in the year. How many days are we into the year, Jeeb? 4?
4, exactly.
Let me tell you something. I have more than 4 rumors right here. In fact, I have 6 of them. And we're going to go over all of them. We're going to talk about them. And I want your opinion on some of these. Some of these are things I think we already knew, but I don't think we've actually talked about a whole lot. I think we've touched on some of these things, but we haven't actually had a discussion about them. So we're going to do that. But I want to start out with a game. But before we do that, I think we need to do something else, which is our sponsor.
Oh, you're bringing the sponsor in this week. Is that what we're doing?
I've just tried to move into something and realized we had totally forgot the sponsor, so I moved right back out.
No, you have not looked at our set list, sir, because our sponsor was up next. But that's totally fine, because I can talk to you, the great people, the listeners of our podcast, about our sponsor, which is Nexigo. The Nexigo Hall Effect GripCon is a fantastic alternative to the traditional Joy-Cons that's compatible with the OLED and the OG Switch. It features Hall Effect sticks, gyro, rumble, reprogrammable buttons, 2 cartridge slots in the back, so you can store some extra cartridges. Unless you got the MLG Switch, you can just put that thing in. Don't need that. A kickstand, but also the killer feature of this thing is the built-in dock that is on the back of this thing. No need for travel docks anymore. No need to risk your, those weird third-party travel docks. You got your Nexigo dock built into your grip, as is Drip. I know you've been using it for a while here. Tell us your thoughts about it.
It's great, honestly. The way it feels is probably my favorite thing. The dock is very cool. I don't dock my Switch that much, but we did use it over the break. We hooked my Switch up in my kid's room, and the dock is not in there right now. We actually moved it to a different room, and I was like, oh, it actually doesn't matter. We can just plug my Switch directly in. All the cables were still there, so we just popped it right in. It works like a normal dock. That part's cool. I like the way it feels, honestly. I think it's a very comfortable grip. It's not too big, not too small. It's just right. It's not oversized. I mean, especially for having a dock on the back, it's a great size. That's probably my favorite part.
Awesome, guys. You can find the Nexigo GripCon over at their links down below. Make sure to check those out. Their website is nexigo.com. That is www.nexigo.com. Buy the DripCon, as well as all their other stuff they got on their website. Again, links down below. Thank you, Nexigo, for sponsoring today's episode.
Drip. Sponsor's done. So I do want to call you out, because I was told earlier that when you did the sponsor spot last week, we accidentally called them the wrong name.
I called them on the live stream. I called them Nixie.
Nixie, yeah. Which is, listen,
and I never caught it until afterwards. And Johnny was like, oh yeah, I have the Wizard. I'm like, no, different company.
That's
dude.
Not even the same company.
Silly
man.
goose. Why would you think it's Nixie, dude? It's Nexio. No, because my dumbass said Nixie.
No, that's awesome. Absolutely hilarious. It's fine. It's fine. That's actually it's probably helped people go research it anyway. They're like, what Nixie doesn't make that. This guy's out of his mind.
I fixed it for the audio episode and the video episode that went up on YouTube. I fixed it, so it did said Nixie go. It was very fluid. It sounded just like it should.
Very, very nice. Love it. Sorry, I had to call you out on a little bit. But Jeeb,
yes, sir.
Switch 2 rumors. There's a bunch. I want to start with one about a game because this is kind of interesting. Kind of some leaky stuff. But let's be honest here. There is nothing to back a lot of this up. This is just rumors.
Yep.
It's the time of year for this stuff. It's going to start happening. I mean, wait till we get to March, dude.
Might I add, though, this is not, 2022. It is already 2024. We're entering year 7.
We're here.
If you didn't think it was fair last year, it is totally fair to start bringing up Switch 2 rumors right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So if you were mad at us last year, you can't be mad this year. It's happening this year. It
is happening.
This is the year. We've said that before, but listen, if it's not this year, dude, I'm gonna be a Steam Deck player exclusively. Like I swear to God. Like
it's gotta be.
I'm done with the Switch. And if there's no Switch 2 by 2025 in my hand, I'm done with Nintendo. Just like that. Steam Deck. I'm gonna be a Steam Deck boy. The Dripper Jeep Steam Deck podcast is what we're gonna call it. I'm done. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling.
Excuse me.
I do have a feeling that we're going to be getting this thing this year. So one of the games that is supposedly rumored that we're going to be getting is a Bayonetta trilogy. Okay, so it's going to be Bayonetta 1, 2, and 3. And supposedly HDR is confirmed for these games for the Switch 2. So the Switch 2 is going to have HDR capabilities, but it will also have other performance improvements compared to the original, let's just say Bayonetta 3 that we have on the Switch original.
Yeah, that game doesn't run as great as I thought it did.
No, it doesn't.
It gets to 60, but I mean, I think it lives at like 50. And there's times where there's times where it gets to 40. It doesn't run bad. It just doesn't run as solid 60 like it should.
It has a little bit of issue. But okay, supposedly it's not going to have a problem on the Switch 2, but this is kind of cool. This is the cool thing about this entire thing. It will work on the Switch as well. It's not going to have the performance updates. So it's going to basically be like a what did the Xbox call it? Smart delivery.
Okay.
Where it depends on what you're playing it on. That's how it's going to be able to tell what version it needs to use, I guess. I don't know exactly how all that works, but I mean, smart delivery is a cool thing. So it's basically they have a version of the game for both. So this is telling us that I think that's backwards compatibility. This is another little clue that's showing us that that's actually going to be a thing.
See, I think backwards compatibility is going to be a thing, but I don't believe this is telling us that. What I think this is telling us is that there's going to be Switch 2 versions of the game coming out and original Switch versions. Two separate.
We talked about that.
Like the thing, for some reason in my head, Tina's Tiny Wonderland, I think is the game that came out in like 2022 or something.
Yeah, it's one of those Borderland spinoffs.
There is a version. I remember at the time because there was like a controversy because some people were buying the wrong version. Some people were buying the PS4 version of the game on their PS5, where and they weren't getting the extra features from the PS5, but it was running on the PS5. But it was the PS. So that's in my head for some reason. But that's the example that I think this is showing is that there's going to be for $60 the Switch version, if for lack of a better term, and then for 70 or more, you're going to have the Switch 2 version of the game that is, if you're playing on that hardware, has enhanced graphics. But you can buy either version on either console. You're just not going to get the enhancements if you're playing on the old hardware. Whereas you can,
I don't know. I think
you can choose. I only want to buy the $60 version on but so you could play the Switch version on the Switch 2. It'll have less performance or something.
When a lot of those games, when all this stuff was happening, like whenever the real Switch was happening from like the PlayStation 4s to 5s and the Xbox One X whatever to the Series. They would have upgrades too. Like if you had the certain game, you could pay $10, $15 and have an upgraded version instead of buying the game again. Some people did that. Some people didn't. But we had a whole episode about that.
Yes.
Who knows what they're gonna do? Okay, so I think that shows at least another clue, another check mark in the side of backwards compatibility, hopefully.
At the very least, it shows that they're still going to be, not that it's a surprise, but they're going to be putting out Switch games in the future. If you're not buying the Switch 2 right away, you're still going to get the new releases.
The games are going to work on the okay. So that's cool. Release dates are a thing.
Yep.
Not actual dates, but time frames, and these are decent. September 2024 as I guess the target release date, and there's a backup date in case things don't go as smooth as they hope. November 2024. So I mean, September is basically kind of when we have been talking about when this thing's probably going to be coming out anyway, right? I can't remember. I want to go back in the notes. Remember all those notes I had about the different ways that we can see this thing released?
Yes.
Oh my God. I bet I can find those. Here it is, right. Not there.
Excuse me. Do you have your notes strip? Did you find your notes?
Oh man. When did we talk about that?
I don't know, dude. Forget your notes.
Oh man, I really wanted to pull those up. It doesn't matter. Either way, September's, I mean, that seems right to me. I don't know about you. That seems very, very feasible.
Now,
November seems a little late.
Is September the announcement date, or September is the ship date?
That would be the release date.
Yeah, I think.
So announcement, if it's September, if you're looking at the announcement, I mean, I would say probably
at least 3 months prior.
And maybe a little bit more because it's not.
That's at least, right?
Yeah, so, I would say maybe. I don't know. That's tough. I want to say 6, but I feel like as it comes out of my mouth, I'm like, that's too long for Nintendo. Like for any other company, it's whatever. I don't feel like this is like a huge it's a brand new thing. This is just another Switch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a Switch 2, but it's not like, oh, we're moving to a whole nother thing. Get ready for all this. You know what I mean? I feel like this is going to be a short window. 3 months might be too short.
What makes you think it's going to be a short window? Because I kind of disagree. I feel like this is going to be a longer window.
I just think that I don't think they want people just waiting around, waiting on this thing. I think. I don't know.
Here's what I think. I think
okay. When I say long window, I'm still not talking about like a year. I mean, 6 months tops.
I would agree.
Tops. 4 to 5, I think, is probably
realistic. 3 is.
I think 3 is a little short when it comes to it's just a little short.
So here
I know. I mean, what was it? What was it with the Wii U to the Switch? It's October to March. So what's that?
5.
I mean, that seems about right.
So here's the thing. Let's put it in perspective here. In reality, May 2024 is 5 months from September. May is also 5 months from now. So, does that sound right to anybody out there? 5 months from right now, and then 5 months after that, it's in our hands. That's 10.
Honestly,
10,
yes,
10,
that
10 month
sounds very
turnaround.
feasible to me.
I think that's one possibility. I think another possibility is June on the earlier side of the September release or the later side of November release. So in June, middle of the year direct. That's direct time.
And we know, E3's gone. But I mean, that June spot for all these companies, that's when they really do all their stuff. That midsummer, that's when they really get stuff going. You're right. June would make a lot of sense for an announcement on this thing.
I think we are looking at, because to be honest with you, I could care less about when it's actually coming out. I just need to at least know this year when it is. So I can either be mad or upset when I find out, or mad or happy when I find out, but I at least need to find out this year. So for me, the countdown is not for when we're going to have it. The countdown is for when they're going to freaking say something.
And you know what?
I'm starting my countdown right now, and we're doing a 5-month countdown to May. And I think June by the latest, but I'm going to check. We're going to check back with you guys on the episode that's going to probably happen sometime either the 29th or 30th of May. That's the end of May, obviously. And we're gonna see together what did we get a release or not. So Future Jeep set a calendar event for the 29th or 30th of May. And
there you go.
We're gonna find out if we.
Well, I mean,
if we
I need to know.
answer.
The sooner the better for me, because I need to know how much money I need to save up. Because it sounds like we have some prices. And there's going to be supposedly rumors, all rumors, but it sounds like we're getting 2 versions of this thing, which you have said 2 versions is probably what it's going to be.
Yep.
A digital version that's going to be $400. And if you want the cartridge slot, you're paying $50 more, $450. I mean, okay, first off, realistically, how do you feel about that, just that rumor in general?
Those prices
I feel like that's pretty spot on.
I think they're fair. As far as like, would Nintendo do that? Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair price. I think for the next gen of Nintendo consoles, because that's basically what this is, right?
Yeah, and we're going to get into a little bit more about what this thing supposedly is going to be.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we're looking at a significally more powerful machine than what we have right now.
And
that's
for
sure.
$50, actually more than what we pay right now for an OLED. $100 if you actually let's be fair, it's $100 more because the OLED has a cartridge slot. So
yeah,
bygones
it's
be bygones.
$100 more.
It's $100 more.
I will only have to pay $50 more, but that's fine.
Yeah. I think $450 is fair if this thing performs like it should. I'm not asking for PS5 in my hands, but I heard somebody compare it to an ROG. Was it Review Tech?
Yes, I actually.
ROG Ally.
We'll go there. Power's supposed to be right on par with the ROG Ally. Is what the rumors are now.
If we're getting an ROG Ally power wise and the battery life of like an OG Switch, because he said in his video with the OLED battery's pushing it. That would be we're talking that OLED battery is somewhere in the 4 to 6 hour range for AAA titles. Or for I should say Nintendo for AAA titles. That is pushing it, I think, because I'm talking from not necessarily what I want. I'm talking from the perspective of how batteries work right now in this day and age, and that's too. Yeah. I don't care how much optimization they put on there. I think 6 hours for Breath or Tears of the Kingdom on an ROG Ally hardware, even with optimization, that's going to be a tough call. That's going to be really difficult to do logistically with a battery, the size of the battery and the optimization. I don't know. I do think 2 to 4 hours for ROG Ally specs. Play Tears of the Kingdom for 3 hours, 4 hours. With those specs, I think.
Well, that's like base Switch shit too. I mean, that's what the base Switch did.
Right. The base
Breath of the Wild.
I'm looking at base Switch battery life and ROG Ally specs. Better than a Steam Deck. You know.
Yeah.
That's. I
don't hate that.
We're in freaking business right there. I'll pay $450 for that.
Yeah. Well, okay. There's some other rumors that say, and these are I do not believe this. I don't believe this for a second. There are some other rumors saying that this thing could be as powerful as an Xbox Series S, not the big one, but the S.
The S isn't that powerful. It is.
I don't think you can do that in a handheld though and get battery life. There's no way.
Not get battery life. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just saying that I don't think the Series S is that powerful. I'd be curious to see how the Series S stacks up next to the ROG Ally. But like just
now, that is an interesting comparison.
I bet you they're close.
You think?
I think so. I say close. I'm not saying it's
all right.
ROG's better, or even close, or even that close. But it is close. I bet you it's close. Like I've seen the in action. My brother has one. I forget what game he was playing, but I was actually unimpressed with the graphics. So
really,
yeah, and also the thing's tiny, dude. It's a Series S is tiny. I think you could make that. Take out the power supply in there. I think you can make that real small. That's literally
pretty small.
Put some controllers on there.
It's pretty small,
and there's a lot of air in there for airflow. I think you could do it, honestly. So
let me tell you some of the other specs that supposedly this thing's gonna have. It's gonna have DLSS 3.1.
Interesting.
3.1 is a newer version,
right?
So that's cool because there was some talk about which version of DLSS they would actually have in this thing.
I almost wonder if it's just going to be a Nintendo exclusive or Nintendo.
That's what I'm wondering. If it's something that they've worked with NVIDIA and like made their own version of it,
right?
because I feel like at this point, like we know the Switch, the original Switch was basically off the shelf parts. We've talked about that a lot. They just threw the thing together. I mean, they had the what's the chip? The Tegra.
Tegra X.
Yeah. I mean that was not for game consoles. It was for self-driving cars. I mean, they pulled stuff off the shelves, whatever. That's not the case with this one. It was a success. It was a massive success. They've taken some time. They're really going to do something special with this one, I think. So I think that's possible, that it might not even be 3.1. It just could be DLSS Nintendo.
Nintendo DLSS.
Whatever.
Whatever they're going to call it, whatever they're going to brand it. It's a custom upscaling for Nintendo.
And it'd probably be called, who even knows if they'll give it a name. They might not even talk about it. But,
I bet they might give it a really cool, I don't know if I can't think of the phrase I'm looking for right now, but a really cool buzz. That's what it is. Buzz. Really cool buzzword for it.
Yeah. Like, okay. That would actually be cool. I hope they do that. This is cool, and this is something we've heard before, but also, these things keep coming up. That's the thing about a lot of these. They keep coming up in different places from different people. I mean, and it could just be, people talking about it could be the same thing that they heard here. They're just saying it too. But I mean, 12 gigabytes of RAM compared to what's in there now. What's in there now? 3?
I don't know
4?
What's in there now, but I heard 12.
3. I think it's 3.
What does the ROG have in the Steam Deck? Now I'm curious. I'm looking those up right now. You can tell me.
Yeah, I actually have the ROG Ally specs right here. I'll let you look it up.
I'll tell you right now, the Steam Deck has 16 gigs of RAM, and I assume there's 3 gigs of video RAM specifically. At least that spec I don't know, but
at least ROG Ally has 16 too.
Yeah, so 12 for the Switch. Okay, that seems more in line with what's Yeah.
Along with DLSS, I mean, okay. I don't know. That's cool. But here's something we have touched on this. This is for me. I don't think this is a big deal. But we're not getting an OLED screen. It sounds like
that makes me sad. I understand why, but it does not make me happy.
Okay, and you understand why. I think it's fine. I want to go back to the other handheld that I told you I've been using basically nonstop. The PlayStation Portal does not have an OLED screen, but holy hell, it looks amazing. It is a very, very nice looking screen. Not OLED. I mean, you can tell it's not OLED. You can tell.
To be fair, though, that's what you're paying for with that device. It's literally a screen.
Oh, yeah, you're paying for the screen, yeah.
So, yeah, that if if they're going to put a nicer screen like that one has, like the Portal does, yeah, I think that would be cool. It would make me not miss an OLED, probably. However, at the price point, under 500, and with all those specs are going to cost money, dude.
They are.
They're going to. The whole point of not putting an OLED on there is to save costs. Because even that OLED panel the Switch has right now, the Switch OLED, it's not the best quality OLED panel. I bet you it's probably one of the lesser ones. You know what I mean? But just simply the technology OLED is that much better than this comparable LCD that makes that gap look so big when you look at the original Switch and the OLED Switch.
Oh yeah, well yeah, the original.
They're
my
both,
God, yeah. I look at my kids' Switch Lite and then go to my OLED. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, they're both. My guess, I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty certain that they're both the lower end screens that you can buy for devices.
I don't think they're going
to
be like, they're not top of the line.
No,
by any means. What do you think about it being 1080p though?
I don't like that. I said it from the get-go when we talked about the Switch 2 rumors, the Switch Pro at the time. Like, there's no need for 1080p at that screen size, the current screen size that we have.
8-inch. 8-inch is what we're going to be talking about.
Okay, so let me back up here. For the rumors that say 8-inch 1080p, that is stupid. That would be the biggest mistake they could make, because now you're guaranteeing worse battery life, because you're dealing with a bigger screen, which means more pixels, which means more power to push on top of, I said pixels, I meant LEDs that that shine through, more light, more power, but also the pixels, more density to push. That's going to really hurt battery life more than you think. The ROG Ally's biggest crutch is battery life, and a big reason why is it has, I don't know the screen size, it's actually small. The ROG Ally's screen is smaller than the Steam Deck by a good margin, but it's 1080p, so it sucks up way more battery life. So that's a big reason why. It's a smaller device, yes, so it hurt. That's another reason why it's less battery life in the Steam Deck. But yeah, no, there's no reason for Nintendo to go, yeah, let's put an 8-inch 1080p screen on this thing. You're going to lose at least an hour or two of battery off the jump just from that. There's no need for that. 7 inches, whatever this OLED screen size is, that's the sweet spot. There's no need to have any bigger than that. That is the biggest screen you're going to need. And for anybody.
Well, I'll tell you this.
And the 1080p is too much. 720p is fine.
Okay, but again, I keep going back to it. The PlayStation Portal has a 1080p screen, and I think that's why it looks the way it looks. It looks so crisp.
Well, it's 8 inch. It's 8 inch, right?
It is 8 inches. Yes, it is 8 inches. 1080p, 60 hertz refresh rate.
And what's your battery life on that thing? 5 hours? 6 hours?
Yeah.
And how
I'm
much,
not even running any games.
And what's the specs on that?
Yeah, I'm not even running the games. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, no. I think I get more battery life than that. It lasts a pretty long time.
I believe it's quoted for 5 to 6. It's somewhere in that ballpark.
Is it?
I think so.
Let's see what the battery life is on the thing.
But again, you can't compare this. That is a different product altogether.
Yeah, it's a different,
but
completely different thing.
But as far as what we're talking about,
it's even worse. Around 4 hours. That's not true. I play it way longer than that.
Here's the thing, and even that, who cares? The point is that screen. If you put that on a Switch, that would look great.
Yeah. God.
But here's the thing. You're not going to get good battery life. It will be and Nintendo is not going to do that.
I know. That's the thing. You're right. They're not. That's the thing they're fighting with everything they do. To give us what we want, to get these specs, like all these rumors, all this bullshit that we're talking about now, they are fighting against battery life to make all this happen.
Yes.
Cost? Yes, of course. But they're not going to put something else that lasts, an hour. They're not going to do it. People would be pissed. I'd be pissed. Like these other companies, it's like, okay, I can see it. Like whatever. You got PC games running on these things. Like whatever. It's not fully optimized for this. Like I understand it. The fans are running. You can literally hold on to these things and fly to the fucking moon. The fans are going so hard. I mean, I get it with those. With Nintendo, they make the hardware, they make the software, they can make them, they can make them work together very nicely. They're not going to do that. They are definitely not going to do that. I would still like to see a 1080p screen if they could make it work, though. I just know what it looks like on that thing. If they can make the battery life work, I'd love to see it. I was with you 100% on the 720p thing. I liked it. But now that I've seen it like that, oh, dude, it's so good.
Oh, trust me, I get it because, I lived through the era of when smartphone screens were less than 1080, were not HD screens. Your old iPhones back in the day, those were great screens because they were great quality panels, but they were pixel density wise. Those like iPhone 4, for example, and prior, all those screens were not HD screens. They were sub HD. And then when I switched to Android and I saw my first 720p screen next to those sub HD iPhone screens, I was like, "Damn, girl!" And then. And then, dude, during the Android era again, those early 2010s, I switched from my first 720p Android screen to my first, from 720p Android screen to my first 1080p Android screen.
Yeah.
That was the biggest jump I've ever seen in a smartphone.
Oh yeah, it's massive.
And to this day, your screens are either 1080p. Or 1440p. Some of those phones can push that because they have extra battery, extra power. Because phones are getting so damn big these days, you can put.
Well,
big
that's like,
batteries in
dude,
it.
this thing here. Oh my god, this is actually perfect. Look at the picture that's on the corner there. It's you. I don't know why that's there.
Completely unrelated. Sorry, audio people.
I swear to God, I didn't put that there. That's not mine. I didn't do that. This is not mine. I swear. It's not me. Anyway, what I'm saying is the screen on this iPad, absolutely ridiculous. Like absolutely ridiculous.
I've seen those in the store. They're
like crazy.
Blow your mind good.
Yeah.
Bright, dense, but
somehow they figured out the battery life too.
Apple, they know what they're doing, man.
Yeah, they do know what they're doing. But yeah, this thing looks like that's the type of screen where I look at it and I'm like, holy hell. Like,
so I brought that phone comparison up to bring up the point that I do understand what you're saying. Because I lived through it. I saw that transition where I had my first 1080p phone and I was like, this is game changing. Like 720p screens, you could see pixels. I didn't care because it still looked good. I'm using my phone. I'm thinking about my Motorola Moto X from like 2013.
Hello, Moto.
And I love that phone. To this day, that's my favorite phone of all time. Is the Moto X from like 2013 or 2012, whatever one that was. If you know, you know. But that screen was 720p screen. That was it looked good. But then I got the HTC One. What was that phone called? I don't know.
The HTC One?
Not the one. It was. I don't know. But that era of HTC phones, the One M8 and all that. But I didn't have that One M8. I did eventually. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is I switched to HTC, which was then at the time really pushing the 1080p panels, and I wanted to see for myself. So I picked one up, and I was like, God damn, this is a beautiful. Goodbye, Moto. Not hello. Goodbye. Hello, HTC, because damn, that looks good. And then that was the norm, and it looked great. Here's the thing: phones are not doing what gaming consoles are doing. So
no, they're not.
You need more battery life, and batteries back then are very similar to batteries we have now.
Oh yeah,
but the power's different.
That's another thing too. Now I edit video on this iPad now. Now normally the battery life on this thing, it just sits. It could sit there for days and days and days and days, whatever. If I'm just using it normally, no problem. I start editing, I'm gonna run the battery out pretty quick. When I'm running Final Cut Pro and then also doing like Photoshop and Lightroom like I do on my Mac. Yeah, this thing gets pretty mad battery wise. But I mean, I don't know.
We're spending a lot of time on this. And trust me, guys, we're going to be talking about this more in the future because there'll be more to discuss. There'll be more rumors, maybe hopefully some leaks that are legit, and we'll talk about that more in the future. But I guess we can kind of wrap up that conversation for now and move on.
Yeah, I got one more conversation I want to bring to you, Jeeb. Now, let's say the Switch 2 is coming out in September of 2024, and we also are getting a game released that day. The launch game for the Nintendo Switch 2. What do you think that game's going to be? And I also, a second part of that question, what other games do you think we're actually going to see? Some of the bigger titles that we didn't see this year. I mean, I can go for one right now. Metroid Prime 4, we know that one. That's a given. Is that the launch title? Is it coming out next year? When are we going to see these games?
Because I doubt it's coming out for the Switch current generation alone, and because it's been so long since they first announced it, and also then announced the trial 2 of it, trying it again. It's been so long since then. To me, they're clearly waiting for the next generation to release the game, so I think it still will come out in the original Switch. They said it would. I bet it still will.
Yeah, it'll have a version.
It's going to be released.
Breath of the Wild.
It's going to be a dual release.
Yeah, it'll be a Breath of the Wild thing. So you're saying Prime 4?
I'm not yet. But I will say this: if I had my choice, that would be the launch game, because that's the first game I want to play on the Switch 2. It's going to showcase what the thing's going to be capable of power-wise. The game's going to look great.
Oh yeah, especially knowing with what we got with Metroid Prime Remastered. That is good God.
Metroid Prime Remaster is the reason I want to play the first game I want to play on Switch 2 is Metroid Prime 4. That because of how good that game looked on that hardware. I can only imagine what the Switch 2 can do with the fourth generation of the game. I
agree.
That's the game I want. But realistically, I think probably Mario Kart 9.
Well, before we move on to that, let me ask you this.
Okay, sorry.
Because realistically, I think you're onto something there. Everybody's pumped for Metroid Prime 4, right?
Yeah. Well, are they?
Especially
is everybody?
Not everybody. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We are. We are. Nintendo people are.
Yeah.
But is Metroid? Like, okay, Dread did great. It was awesome. Still not a gigantic. It's the best Metroid game they've done.
Mm-hmm.
It did well. Prime Remaster, whatever, did pretty well. They did the Shadow Drop. It got some attention. But is Metroid a franchise you could actually lean on as your launch title for a system? Can it sell systems like Breath of the Wild sold systems? I don't think it can.
It can if it comes out with another game, because it will need a Mario Kart or a Mario 3D game to, in addition to it, to really, because I guess to answer your question, because I'm being kind of uncommittal to my answer, I guess if you hold me on a gunpoint, I'd say no. Metroid Prime 4, it cannot sell systems, especially when you talk about Nintendo audience, which is a lot of kids and younger kids, and I don't think a lot of younger kids really give a crap about Metroid because it hasn't been something that's been pushed until last year on the Switch.
Yeah, they're just now really starting to push Metroid
actually 2021
up to the front like they did Zelda.
Right.
I mean, not like Zelda was in the back, but like they're really starting to push Metroid a lot more. I still don't think it's anywhere close to selling systems, though.
Old man Drip, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a time where Metroid and Halo were kind of in the same ballpark. And one took off in popularity, one did not.
Yeah, but I mean at that point Halo was like a new, I guess Metroid Prime was kind of new then. Yeah, I mean, yes. But I mean Metroid Prime was big then. But it was still that game. It was still one of those games that was just like, holy crap. This was insane.
It was big here. I'm putting my hand in the middle of the screen, right, for audio people.
Yeah, I mean, Halo was a different
but then Halo,
beast, man.
Halo went above the screen. Halo went above.
Yeah,
but
and there was a game that's on Nintendo platforms like that, man. I mean, a shooter on Nintendo platforms versus
right, Drip. But both my point is both of those games came out right about the same time, if not the same year, right? The first Metroid and the first Halo, didn't they come out like 04?
I have no idea.
I think they're right within the same couple years, at least, if not the same year. So
I wouldn't say I don't know the years, but I wouldn't say you're too far off.
I think it was. And even if it's not, the point is similar games, similar time frames, one took off. So that game, I don't really know my point. I guess my point is that why can't Metroid take off now?
I think it can. No, I think it can, and I think Nintendo is doing that, literally doing that right now. But I don't think they can hold up. What?
Pun intended. They're priming it to happen right now.
Oh, good God. No, okay, that was actually funny. I agree. They're doing that. I don't think that's a game that can hold up a system launch though and really sell systems. You know what I mean? Because that's what you do. You put a game out with your system that's going to sell systems.
Yeah.
For me, it's one of two. It's got to be. It's a 3D Mario or it's Mario Kart 9. It's one or the other.
Yep. That I think one of those, if not both of those, need to come out at the release to, cater to the mass Nintendo audience. Because between those two games, every Nintendo fan's going to have something to play.
So check this out.
Metroid is not going to satisfy most Nintendo fans.
That's what I'm saying. It's only going to get a small. There's no way you're going to sell systems of this. But if you sell day one, let's say you sell day one Mario Kart 9, the new Mario Kart with the new gimmick. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. And let's say that comes out September with the system. Metroid. And we have that November date. Mm-hmm. That's still a date. But that is when
Metroid
3D Mario comes out.
Oh, okay.
So then you're doubling up with them. And like I feel like holy crap, man. If you did that, this thing would take off so hard.
Here's the time frame. I'm going to just repeat what you just said. September is not only the console release, but also Mario Kart 9's release. And then they also announced two different things. They announced that in October, we're going to have, they announced the title, they show gameplay trailer, and in October, you'll be able to purchase and play the next 3D Mario game, okay? Then, in the same announcement in September or whenever they announce it soon, you're going to know soon after, if not the same time, that Metroid Prime 4 finally has not only its release date, but a trailer, and it's dual release, and it's coming in early 2025. On both platforms.
I thought you were about to say November, and I was going to say that's too much at once. But
early,
no,
early
like
2025.
Early 2025.
So there's 3 back-to-back
set up
releases.
with 2 Marios, 2 good Marios, and that is also when you tell them, guess what? You're not getting a new Zelda game, but here's those ports you've been wanting forever. They're coming over. Not only are they coming over,
keep dreaming.
They're not even in HD. They're not even in 1080p anymore. They're in 4K. They're in 4K. You can play them. You can play them docked in 4K.
Oh, no, it's never happening.
With all new texture. Not all new. But, come on.
I'll tell you one thing, dude. I'll tell you one thing, Drip. We talked in the pre-show. I was playing Twilight Princess on my Steam Deck. How awesome it is to play Twilight Princess portably on my Steam. I was upstairs in the kitchen.
Shut up, dude.
Playing Twilight Princess on my Steam Deck, and I was having a blast.
I'm sure you were.
So how freaking cool would it be to have those games on the current Nintendo hybrid platform?
It'd be amazing.
It'd be incredible. But that time has now passed, dude.
No, it's not.
They might have those games ready, but for some reason, unbeknownst to us, we're never going to see them.
You really think they're not going to put those games out ever again? That's craziness.
I'm not going to say ever again. I'm just saying.
We may not get it. It may not be a Switch era thing, but it's a Switch 2 era thing for sure.
Those rumors have come and passed, and I'm not done with them.
I think they're happening. I mean, I think it's going to be the Zelda game we get next year, probably.
It better be, but I don't think so. And I think next year
we
Zelda,
talked about that a few weeks ago.
Next year, I think next year Zelda is going to be the imprisoning war. Hyrule Warriors.
I know that would be cool. I don't think it's going to be, but that'd be cool. I mean, Koei Tecmo's got to be working on something. And Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity did pretty well, right? I don't know what it sold, but it did decent, right?
This is the season 4, new us, Drip.
Yes, we'd look it up live. I mean, it did pretty well. I'm pretty sure. So
it did.
Koei Tecmo's got to be working on something.
If you had to guess, what would you think? Because I have the answer.
I'm guessing it sold 4 million copies. What did it sell?
Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the draft sound button.
What did it sell?
4 million units. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's not terrible. That's not that bad. I mean,
no. It's good. Those are good numbers. I thought it'd be higher than that.
Yeah, when you look at like other games on the Switch, I mean, you get kind of like, oh, look at this.
I was thinking just
30 million copies.
No. I was thinking just under 10 million.
No way.
That's what I was thinking.
No.
I mean, the game came out 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 million's good, and that is well worth making another one.
It came out 4 years ago. That's gross.
Yeah, dude, I got a haircut today, and I realized how much gray hair she's cut off the side of my head. I was like, holy shit,
man. We're getting old, man. Oh,
yeah, God. It was just falling on my lap, and I'm looking. I was like, that is shiny hair right there. That is. Yep. That has glitter in it. It doesn't. That's 30, just gray hair.
I'm going to be 30 this year. 2024 is the year I turned 30. I was born in 1994. It is 2024. God,
you're not even 30 yet, dude.
I'm not.
Good Lord.
I'm bald, though. Okay, this is what people who are older than me that think I'm young, but I'm bald. Okay, who cares? A part of getting old is the things it does to your body. It's already happened to me. I've already lost my damn hair. So who cares if you got gray hair? I got no hair.
Okay.
At least you got something to cut, okay?
That's true. That's true.
Anyway.
Okay, what about other games? Anything else you're excited for 2024? Any other games? Because right now, I mean, listen, I'm cool with Luigi's Mansion. Like, cool with that. Peach will be in my house.
Yeah.
The Paper Mario thing, I'll probably play that. Everybody gives me shit, but I'm sorry. I really like the Paper Mario on the Switch. I really like that one.
I didn't. So I'll quickly answer that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Because what else am I looking forward to? First party wise, I'm not looking forward to Peach. I don't care. We're not getting it unless Mrs. G, vetoes that decision. We're not getting it. I'm I'm not looking forward to very much of anything in 2024 game-wise, that especially first-party Nintendo things. There's a few third-party things here and there that I think I was watching Kevin Kenson's video. He put out something looking at 2024, and there's a couple of third-party games that he reminded me of and showed me that I'd never seen, that I'm like, ooh, those are cool games. Like Hades 2, for example. I think it would be fun to play that one.
Oh, yeah, Hades 2 is going to be good. The Switch game I'm the most excited about, not a first-party game, is Prince of Persia.
Yeah, it looks
Demo
great.
comes out on the 11th. I'm so pumped for that game, dude.
I'm not
so
a Metroidvania guy.
I just want to call somebody out real quick.
Oh, sure.
Your brother, Kenny.
Uh-oh.
He's literally sending me reels on Instagram right now and not here hanging out with us on the podcast.
Well, so fun fact about my brother, if you didn't know anybody, if you didn't know everybody, my brother only sends reels to people when he is on the pooper.
Oh, well, he must shit a lot, because I get reels from him like
well, that's what coffee
9 times a
that's
day.
what coffee does to you. So,
well, that's what happens, Kenny, when you don't hang out. You get called out.
Not only did you call out for not watching, I also called you out for your poop habits. So, there you go, brother. Watch a damn podcast. Just play all the sounds. Yes. So, what were we talking about? Yeah. Wait, crap. What were we talking about?
Games you're looking forward to.
Right.
Mine's Prince of Persia.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to any particular game, to be honest with you. At least not on Nintendo platforms. I like to be surprised, and like games that are like come out of nowhere. Like Hogwarts for me was like one I didn't follow that it was coming out, and I didn't pick it up till recently, but I knew it was out. Point being, I like to be surprised about releases. Unless it comes to Nintendo, because the Nintendo releases I'm on top of, because we do this podcast every. But as far as other platforms and stuff, I'm looking forward to other things. The Steam Deck has revitalized me into gaming, because I was a period there for a while that I was not gaming very much at all besides Tears of the Kingdom.
It's hard right now. Yeah, it's hard. There's nothing really, on the Switch. If you're a Switch owner, if you're a Switch owner only right now.
Rusty.
It's slim pickings out here, man. It's slim pickings. There ain't shit.
And Thousand Year Door is the only thing that in 2024, as of right now, that I'm like looking forward to playing.
Here's what I want you to do.
Nothing.
On the 11th of this month, the demo for Prince of Persia comes out. I would appreciate it if you would download it and give it a chance.
Well, I saw it and it looked great. I'm just not a Metroidvania guy. I've learned that the hard way.
God, it looks so good.
But
I am. I don't know where that came from, but like I'm all about it now.
More power to you. I don't know. I'll download it for sure. Remind me and I'll do it and I'll see what's up with it. But yeah, I'm not really looking forward to much. I didn't get into Hades 1, so I'm not really going to be that excited for Hades 2.
Too. I could start playing that. I got to finish Spider-Man though. I'm not doing that. I got to finish Spider-Man.
You haven't finished Spider-Man?
Not yet. Okay? I've been busy.
Come on, dude.
I'm going to listen, I will finish it.
Spidey fan.
I'm halfway. No, I'm not halfway. I'm like 75% through the story now. The bad guys are hard now, man. And then you don't play for a while, and then you forget the moves, and then you got to go back and get your ass kicked a bunch.
I would like to replay.
I'm thinking about putting it on easy mode just to finish the story.
No shame in that. No shame in that at all. Because here's the thing. I'm a big proponent of playing games in easy mode when either all the time. If that's the way you have to play games, then so be it. Some people have time restraints; they don't have the time to sit there and grind and die over and over. I get it. Go ahead and play it easy mode. Or for me, this is very useful. This is a very pro tip from Jeeb out there, the pro gamer Jeeb. If you're playing a game and you take a break for a while, like Drip just said with Spider-Man, it's a pro tip to just when you come back to the game, slap that thing in story mode. Slap it on the easiest mode possible, because then...
And at least get your bearings back, and you can jump back up if you want to. Yeah, I like that. That's good. That's good. I love that. That's exactly what I'm going to do, Jeeve, and I'm going to start tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. We want to thank you guys for buying our merch. It's finally out. If people got it in their hands, and the people who don't have it yet, who already bought stuff, it's in the mail right now. It's going to you. Matt Moran did a great job. Drip and I have his hat. I have a hat too. And Drip has the shirt. I have the crew neck hoodie. Love it. The quality is I'm happy with it. This does not feel like it's gonna get messed up in the wash. Very high quality. Thank you, Matt Moran and his team over there for putting this stuff together for us. And we decided these are limited editions, so get them while you still can. I feel like by end of January you're not gonna be able to buy these anymore.
Yeah, grays are gonna go. Once they're gone, people.
That's right. And it supports the stream, helps us keep going and doing this thing that we love to do and talk about the games with you guys and building our community, which is so awesome. We love seeing new people pop in. It is season 4, new logo. We didn't get everything done we wanted to because, like we were talking about in the pre-show, Drip and we have been sick. I'm still sick and have not done everything we wanted to do, but we'll get more quality enhancements to you guys as we go along, but the show stays the same. Unless Nintendo doesn't announce a Switch 2 in 202024, then the show,
Steam Deck,
then we're the Steam Deck
podcast.
Channel. Exactly. Yeah. The Steamcast, Drip and Jeeb edition. I don't know. But thank you guys for joining us for this episode, as well as looking forward to the season 4 that we have upon us here in 2024. You guys were amazing. We're going to go in the after show, but for the rest of you guys listening or watching on YouTube, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.